table. Hi everybody, it's Irene from BrainStormAcres, and it is time to transplant tomatoes and a couple of peppers. So back on March 22nd, I planted a bunch of peppers and tomatoes, mostly tomatoes. What I need to do is, these are my tomatoes and peppers out of the dining room, and it's time to pot them up. I decided I was really tired of dealing with a cement block to sit on, so I fished out one of my camping stools. Hi everybody, it's Irene with BrainStormAcres. And this morning, I am going to be transplanting a gazillion plants. Not really a gazillion, just all those there. And probably actually not all of them, but a good bit of them. At the same time, I'm also filling the water buckets, water barrels, at the other end of the greenhouse here. So if you hear a sound of running water in the background, that's what it is. But I figure I have to be in here anyway, so I might as well get more than one thing done at the same time. So first of all, let's get the tomatoes and peppers chosen and potted up. These guys were started in a 10-20 tray. They were potted up into solo cups when they started to get a little root bound, and now it's time to pot them up again. So, I'm gonna get started. Now, if my garden was completely ready, I probably wouldn't do this, but it's not. And we're still at that borderline phase when we still might get frost. There's no current forecast for it, but that doesn't mean anything. Hi Jack, you having fun? Jack is enthusiastically chasing lizards this morning. So if you see this dog flying around, that's what he's doing. All right, let's get these guys out of the way. A lot of these are already labeled. Most of them are already labeled, so I won't be needing a lot of new labels. So what I need to do is sort these guys out. These are peppers. And I don't think we're gonna pot them up yet. They seem okay. The peppers are generally smaller than the tomatoes are. I'm just going to set these over. But I am going to give them more space because one of the problems is these guys are all kind of crowded in here right now. And that's not necessarily a good thing. I hate having to pot these up, but I'm concerned about them becoming pot bound. So let's pop one out and see how it's doing. This is Aroma, nice sturdy beast. Take off his little lower limbs here. Yeah, we're starting to get some roots running around in circles there, which we really don't want. So he's not really pot bound yet, but give him time and he will be. And I'm hoping to be able to plant these guys out really soon. But I just don't want to risk screwing them up by holding them too long. So I'll spend the money on the potting soil and we'll call it a win. This gives me an opportunity to prune too. So I'm taking off all these little extra side shoots at the bottom. Yeah, you can see we are starting to get some. And these are totally stuck together, of course. There we go. It's one of the things I hate about these plastic pots. When they nest, they nest. I'm not putting a lot in the bottom of these because there's really not that much room to work with. I've always felt like pots should be deeper than they are. And I know they do have some, but I only have a couple of them. I have a couple of the pots that are used for trees, and those are like a foot deep. Narrow, but a foot deep. There we go. Careful, a little label goes back in there. And I'm just going to continue doing this till I run out of plants. This one's supposed to go in the greenhouse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set that here. We need to get the hydroponics set up this weekend. That's kind of not my thing, that's kind of Henry's thing. And I promised I'd help him. A million years ago, we actually considered doing aquaponics. But one of the problems being off-grid here is that we have to consider electrical use and how much heat it would take to keep fish alive in the winter here. Neither of us like tilapia. Having both grown up with cold water fish, tilapia is just look to us. Tilapia grows really well down south here, but it will die extremely easily if it gets cold. So that's not a great solution for us. The only kind of fish that we figured would probably grow up okay up here would be catfish or trout. And trout has the opposite problem that tilapia has. They have to stay cool. So in the summertime, you'd be working to keep them cold enough so that they'd be happy. So no matter what we would grow here, we'd either have to be heating or cooling at some point. And we just decided that at least for now in our lives, although we'd really love to have fish because fish is a premium food to us. We both adore fish and cannot get it locally very well. Woohoo, making progress. These two are also greenhouse tomatoes. We'll keep them there. I can tell by looking at this that red pear is one of those that puts on suckers super easy. Everything here has a sucker on it already, and it's still a baby. Okay, well, the camera quit at some point, but that's okay. You really don't need to watch me transplant however many plants that was. But as you can see, it's happened. I originally had 4 trays. I think there were 43 tomatoes and like 5 or 6 peppers over here. These have not been transplanted because they're going into Dutch buckets. But you can see these guys behind me have been potted up. In some ways I'd rather have these because it makes it really easy to pot these deeply. These are kind of close to the height of these. So sometimes you can smush them down, sometimes you can't. If you want to pot something down deeply, this is actually a better choice. Hopefully this weekend we'll get the hydroponics all set up and these guys all go in and all that sort of stuff. So, I hope this inspires you. As you can see, it's not hard to pot up plants. Tomatoes are particularly easy because they're not picky about how deep you plant them. I hope this inspires you. Get off your sofa. Get yourself a pot. Try it. If you don't, you know, almost anyone can grow something. We've got sprouts going in the kitchen cabinet. We've got veggies growing in the garden. We've got pots of all kinds around here that we're growing in. Everybody can do something, even if it is only sprouts. I'll tell you, those sprouts were really good last night in Chinese food. I made up half of the mung bean sprouts into stir fry last night, and I still have enough for another stir fry. So, pretty good. A few pennies worth of seeds, a canning jar, a lid. Yeah, not brain surgery. So, I hope this inspires you. Be sure to like, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell so that when you see we're doing something else, you're notified that we're doing it. And until next time, bye.